All right, great. So here we go. So this is a free class on how to deal with stagnation and be productive. So let's see what the cards say. Right, so we have 3 cards. Okay, balance. Okay, it says balance, Archangel Zadkiel. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So that's what it says. I think I agree with that. Okay, 4 of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So, time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Oh, sweet. And then this is the one that comes. Queen of Fire. Confident, warm, intelligent, graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So the sense that I'm getting from these cards is that we have to take some time before making any kind of decisions. So part of the stagnation is from that space. So now that I've done the reading, let's do a quick visualization to bring us back to our center. So go ahead and close your eyes. I will. So as you close your eyes, visualize the sun above your head. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath, visualize the sun above your head, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Take another deep breath and visualize the sun, flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. In this moment, let all your concerns, anxieties, worries come up to the surface. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath, visualize the sun flooding your entire body with light. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Okay. So the beauty of this is that it allows us to get to a place where we're not constantly scrambling. So I want to share a personal story with you guys about the past couple of weeks, because I think it will help you guys kind of understand, how stagnation works. So I was actually going through quite a few personal things which were affecting me in my healings. And so I decided to take a break from really doing any sort of sessions and working with clients because I knew that I had to take care of myself. What I ended up feeling like that was that it was very stagnant. Like I couldn't do much work. Everything felt really slow. My body felt slow. My mood was not really good. And that's not generally how I feel. I generally feel very uplifted and I'm very excited and I want to go around. I want to have fun. And I'm able to generally make myself really get into the place where I can enjoy myself. And when I felt this for a little while, I started to realize I was shedding old skin, okay? So anything that's been happening for you guys in the past, I would say 2 weeks, is shedding of old skin. What that means is think about yourself as a snake, and a snake will go through this phase in its life where it's shedding old skin because there's new skin waiting to come out. And for me, that means that I will be having another move coming up, which I will talk to you guys about later once I have all the details figured out. But it brought up these changes in my life that my ego was not letting me deal with. And that's why it felt stagnant. There was nothing ever really stagnant. It was just looking like that on the surface. So how do you go from nothing moving outside, then suddenly deciding I want to be productive? So for me, it was a very immediate consequence, which was that my and 90-day energy reboot couldn't be done. I couldn't really like connect with my clients. It was affecting my personal life and my business. And what I had to do was actually, once I realized what was going on, is connect with people and let them know, I've been really busy. I've been going through a lot of these different changes. So I just want you guys to know it's not that I'm ignoring the process or ignoring anybody. It's just that I had to do this. And that is me saying, I love myself and I am not going to beat myself up over it. So for you, if you are beating yourself up over not being able to do everything on your to-do list, realize that it, first of all, doesn't need to get done. Second, the moment you realize that you can take action on it, take action on it. Don't feel bad, guilty, or embarrassed. Now, there are a couple of ways you can deal with stagnation. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box, okay? So there are a couple of ways that I work through this shedding off my old skin. One was to take really hot showers. Why? Because hot showers will help release a lot of the gunk sitting on your body energetically. And then I use salts to put it on my system. So once I've taken a shower and I've put all the shampoo and whatever it is, at the very end, I'll take salts, I'll take sea salts, and I'll apply it to my body. And then I just wash it off. What the salts does is it actually allows my body to just come to a space of equilibrium. That was very, very helpful for me. The second thing is doing something called foot massage. Now, you don't have to go and pay someone to do this. What you can do this is in your own house, in your own room, on the bed, or you're sitting down. It doesn't matter. What this is called reflexology. Okay, it's a pretty, for people who have heard about it, this is something I just recently got to discover. And your foot, okay, your entire foot is connected to each and every organ of your body. So when you start pressing your foot, you will feel there's certain points that are in more pain than the others. There's certain parts that feel more uncomfortable than the others. Those parts are your organs that are in pain. So it's called reflexology, and it allows you to, instead of trying to figure out where in your body something is wrong, using your foot to clear out any blockages. One of the things that I feel very strongly about is when we have the tools, we apply these tools, it allows us to make our lives easier. So, one thing is we constantly want to look to other people's for answers, but your body has all the answers that you need. So stagnation, some people truly experience stagnation where nothing's moving for them. But in my case, it was more of shedding off the old skin. Even in the people's lives where it feels like they're not having any shift, I think, personally, they are also shedding old skin. Their old skin might be 20 years worth of old skin. It could also be 6 months worth of old skin. So it's just a matter of that, just recognizing, hey, I have all of this stuff that's being released from me. So what happens though on the physical, some relationships change. So in the past couple of weeks, if you guys have noticed that, some friendships are not feeling the same way. Some relationships seem to be having difficulties. It's natural because you're just releasing so much stuff. Now, the other thing you have to remember is there's a lot of political disturbance going on, right? Most healers don't seem to kind of address this, but that is our environmental stuff that's affecting us. So that's the presidential election going on. The North Dakota protests going on. There's a lot of political unrest that is affecting us, because what we don't realize is politics affect us very personally. This is everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's on all the social media. So if you are a sensitive person to a certain degree, it is important to remember that if you're feeling certainly stressed out, and it doesn't seem like there's any reason to feel that way, it's because of a lot of different environmental reasons. And once you know that, you can do things to protect yourself. So as I said, the showers with the salts, the foot reflexology. The foot reflexology, you can make that a really fun thing. You can actually go to You can go online and look up maps. You can look up a foot map and it will tell you which part of your foot is connected to which organ. So when it hurts, you can basically feel that part of your organ is hurting in your body. So it's really, really cool when you look at it. So that's another one. The third one is something that I'm really excited to share with you guys. I have now finally gotten to it. It's something I call the God box. Okay. So this is a God box. And as you can see, it's got my logo. Let me get it close to you guys. Okay. These will be available on my website for purchase. I'm still at this a little bit more that I'm doing. Now this is a God box. So as you can see, you can open it. Okay. And then you close it. So what is a God box? I swear by the God boxes. And it's also very pretty, as you can see. I swear by the God boxes. The God boxes are incredible pieces of, how do I say this? They're incredible physical pieces where you can put your worry down. So when I started working with the God boxes, I would say this was a year and a half ago. I really seriously started working with it. I'd heard about it, but I didn't know what a God box was. What a God box is that it allows you to have a physical place where you can put down your worries. When I started, I would probably put down a note on it every 5 minutes because I had so many worries. My mind was constantly chattering with me. I'm just going to show it to you guys one more time. Okay, it looks like this. And the symbol here that you see is one for meditation. It's really powerful. I don't really think the quality is showing up in there, but so that's one thing that I want you guys to realize, that it's incredibly important for you to remember that you can't just expect your worries to go away. Where are they going? You can't just ignore it. You can't put it on the side. You want to write it down. You want to put it in your God box. So in the beginning, like I said, every 5 minutes, I would be putting down a note. Slowly, a couple of weeks later, it started being like every hour. Then it started being like every couple of days. Then it started being once a month. And now I don't have to use it as much because I'm not constantly worried. But when I would do that, I would notice that things would change. I would have a shift. So if I would be worried about, say, a client not calling me back or something, right? That's an example. I would put a note down and put it in there. And so it was really interesting. And then, so then basically I would have this really cool experience where I would just allow myself to let go of the worries, right? I wouldn't allow myself to hold on to it. I was not hoarding onto my fears. I would just put it in there. I would just put it in there. So it became this really fun game that I would put my worries down in the box and then suddenly I would see a shift. I would put my worries down in the box, I would see a shift. Okay, so it was one of those experiences where I felt like, what is going on? Is this magic? What was happening is it was a very physical and practical way of me to let go of my worry. And so many times, I don't think I could even understand how it was working, but hey, something was working. What happened is I found a way to put my worries in a physical space, right? So that's what it was doing for me. And that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. It took me a while to produce them because I had to find the right, box. I had to find the right way because I was to experiment with it. What I'm doing with these God boxes that are going to be available for people to get is that I'm energizing them and they'll have crystals and they'll have messages. So it's really, really pretty. It's really, I think it's a really powerful thing to invest in because I have, and to me it's had amazing results. Because, how many times are you going to go call a healer? How many times are you going to go to somebody who can give you answers? You have to be able to do some of the work on your own. So what happens is, I think when you write down your worry and put it in there, it allows you to just breathe and let go. And when you do that, it helps you get to a place of calm. Because now that you've put it down in the God box, it's there. You can't do anything about the situation. So a lot of times it would happen like that. I would actually be stressed out about what am I doing? What am I doing? And it was really tough for me, right? One thing I want to share with you guys is I was a huge worry wart. I was constantly worried about everything around me. Okay. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't want to constantly be worried about everything. I don't want to be worried about my bank balance. I don't want to be worried about my relationship. I don't want to be worried about my health. I don't want to be worried. I don't like worrying. I hear that from a lot of people that they don't want to worry and they yet keep worrying because they don't know what else to do, right? So the reason I wanted to do this is because when I felt this level of stagnation where I was so like, why am I feeling so stressed out? Why am I not feeling like doing anything? I want to be productive. What I realized is just because you don't feel like being productive because you're shedding old skin, that's okay. But what you have to realize is once you have figured out that you are not feeling very good about yourself and because you're feeling so stagnant, the moment you realize that, hey, I'm very stagnant and I want this to shift, then what happens is that you suddenly realize I don't need to stay in the stagnation. I can now make a shift, right? So that was really cool for me because before, it's like when somebody wants to go to the gym. Say they go for 2 weeks straight and then they don't go for 3 weeks and then they say, I don't want to go. But the moment you realize that, hey, I want to go back to the gym, but I haven't been in 3 weeks, what's the point of going? That's exactly the point because you now made a shift into saying, I want to go and work out. Okay. So it's one of those things that I think we're being invited to be very more compassionate towards yourself, right? So the whole idea, as we keep talking about all of these different ways of being is, and one of my favorite things about the way I practice energy work is to really allow yourself to be human, to embrace your humanity, because getting worried is not bad, but letting worry control your life is where you hamper your progress, where you are not letting yourself do. So God box is one more thing. We'll talk more about it at the end of the class, but that's the third thing. The fourth thing that I do is something called mantras. Also in the Western world, we call it affirmations. But mantras are a little bit more powerful just because they have a certain sound that they create to work with the environment, okay? I firmly believe in mantras because mantras are a very quick way to getting where you need to. You don't need to run away from it. You don't need to be worried about it. You don't need to do all of that. You just need to realize that, hey, I am going to use this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful words that will allow me to shield myself from all the bullshit around me. So what I use mantras are really, really to just calm myself down and literally have it like a shield. Okay? So that's what mantras are for. Now, the fifth thing is EFT. A lot of people have heard of it. A lot of people haven't. I'm just going to tell you what it is. It's called emotional freedom technique. Okay? Emotional freedom technique is a method where you touch your meridian points. Okay? So I've done a class on it before, but basically you touch your meridian points. So there are meridian points in our body, and what those do when you go around them. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So you tap here. Okay? You tap on your wrist, and you tap here on your forehead. You tap on your middle of the brow. You tap on the side. You tap here. You tap here. And then tap here, side of under your elbow. And you tap again. And you go about it again. Now, a lot of times they tell you to speak about your fears. What is scaring you? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff, right? With me, I do it with my mantra. So I do EFT with my mantras. So you can do it with an affirmation too. The reason I do it with a mantra is because it just works so well, right? So you just tap, 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 tap. It like basically what it does is it releases stuff. So everything that I'm telling you guys, starting from taking a shower with bath salts, doing your reflexology, doing the EFT, doing the mantras, using the God box, all of these things are meant to be physical applications of all of what we talk about. Because you can have all the spiritual laws memorized, but if you don't apply them, then it's not going to work. Here, let me give you an example. You go into a room that is dark. It does have a light, But what is going to stop the room from being dark is you turning on the light. So you applying these things. So I'm talking about the more practical aspects. I'm not talking about spiritual laws here, even though everything is supported by spiritual laws in each and everything that I'm talking about. These are applications, because a lot of times people ask me, oh, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do my mantras. But you do take a shower every day, right? And you do sit down while you're watching TV. You can start massaging your foot. You're sitting there freaking out, just holding yourself. You can start doing EFT. You're sitting down thinking about your worry. You can write a note and put it in the God box. Each and every single thing I'm telling you is going to work when you apply it, right? And they're very simple. That's my main thing with spirituality and healing. I want it to be very simple. I want it to be a part of your life, because spirituality is a tool that makes us more comfortable with where we are in life, rather than feeling like we're running this race. So just keep that in mind, that when you don't have to do each and everything, right? You just want to do whichever one works for you. So whether that is taking a shower, putting bath salts on, because wouldn't it be nice for one day to just not have to worry and to just be able to allow yourself to be calm and just allow yourself to feel like things are not always such a drag, And I think that's what we are constantly trying to do. We are constantly working towards this place where we're not scared, we're not worried, we want to be happy. But why does happiness have to be a one-time thing, or a one event thing, or a one birthday thing? Why can't happiness be a part of our life, where we really see how we feel about everything around us, and it makes us happy instead of scaring us? So that's another thing that I think for me was a huge motivation. The other thing is, so many times, a lot of things are out of our control, right? We are under this impression that we are in control of anything in life. You really are not. And what I mean by that is, life is very challenging and unpredictable. It really is. I wasn't planning on having this spiritual work happening for 2 weeks, where I was like really sort of challenged by myself. I wasn't. I had my plans figured out and all of that. I just had to adjust to my reality at that time. And I could fight it, or I could see what the spiritual lesson was in there. And once I understood the spiritual lesson, I was able to come back and say, okay, I'll give this information to all of you guys. So that's one thing I want you guys to remember, that as much as you can feel really stressed out about your life and you can feel really stagnant, you can always move past it. You can always come to a place where you have moved past it. And I'll tell you something, we're not trying to be perfect humans here. We're working on being the best version of ourselves every single day. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. That's another mistake most of us make. We're constantly comparing ourselves to every other person around us. But here's my thing. Why does what you have to do be better than another person's effort? Because what you're doing is going to work for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that another person their progress in life doesn't mean anything for you. But we do this comparison game. And what happens is we rob ourselves of peace. Does that make sense? So I just want to repeat that, because the comparison thing comes up a lot for people. When we compare ourselves to others, all we are doing is robbing ourselves of our own peace. We're not getting answers. We're not getting any solutions. We're literally robbing ourselves of our peace. And ask yourself, is that fair to you to rob yourself of your peace? No, it's not. Because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel free. And you deserve to live a life that makes you feel less like a zombie and more like a human being, which means embracing your life in all colors. The other thing that I recently was told in meditation is that the next couple of months, because it's coming the end of the year, is also very stressful for most people. So what can you do? One of the things is keep your environment as orderly as possible. A lot of people don't do that. Their environment is very kind of messy. They don't really make sure that it's keeping them clean. And I mean this from an energetic standpoint. I don't mean this from an aesthetic standpoint. So I'm not saying you you need to have this completely constant orderly, right? But at least for the most part, try to have your stuff orderly so that you're not feeling completely thrown off by it. Because one, when you see things around you that are not organized, immediately your mind goes into chaos, right? So you want to do everything that your mind feels more directed and trained. Now, I hate doing laundry. So my laundry always gets piled up. And it really pisses me off because I'm like, I should just do it. But here's the thing. Make your peace with it. If you have a lot of laundry and you don't want to do it, then just allow yourself to say, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. But at least have it in a corner where it's not throwing you off. So you want to start getting to know what throws you off, what doesn't throw you off. Okay. And one thing that people ask me is, I have so many problems. How am I ever going to actually do anything with my life that's going to make sense? Well, how are you going to do that is you're going to do that by allowing yourself to see who you really are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? So now for everybody, a God box might not be an answer. For some people, doing the EFT would be an answer. For some people, doing a mantra is an answer. There is no one right answer for anybody. So when you try to compare yourself, again, going back to the comparison thing, you will see that you're actually hurting yourself because that is not the answer for you. The other thing that happens is we tend to think about the stagnation, right? So it feels like everybody else is feeling so powerful, so good about themselves. Why are we not doing that? Well, again, you're comparing yourself. What's going on for you is not going on for them, right? So I want you to keep these things in mind because if you are going to feel stagnant in the next couple of weeks, which it can happen. I've just come out of it, so my cycle just ended. You could be going into a period of stagnation where you don't feel like doing anything, you want to just sleep, you feel really tired. Honor yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't just try running around like a crazy person and doing everything. You don't need to, okay? I am going to do a reading for everybody that is on this call. So do you guys have any questions from me about the different things I've said that work in helping with the stagnation? Anybody? If you guys want to put the questions in there, go for it in the chat box. Okay, so it doesn't look like there are any questions. So I'm going to go ahead and do a reading for each person. So first, I'll go with Miran. Miran, do you have any questions? You want to put it in the... Let me go ahead and unmute you. Idea. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think I have any questions today.
Okay, so let's just see what your general reading is. Have you been feeling stagnant, or have you been like, how have you been feeling?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, pretty much.
So I would think for you, a lot of that is the political stuff, because I know you're quite into it, right? Because I think I get your stuff on Facebook where...
yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you know that? Yeah. Very much so.
Okay, so just keep that in mind. Like, keep that in mind. I think everybody will feel better after November 8th, for sure.
I hope so.
Well, at least we won't be dealing with this back and forth stuff, so...
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what it is. Yeah, that stuff is enough to make anyone go crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, so you have 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. I think this alludes to your move. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I'm also working on a new project, so that could have something to do with that as well.
Yeah, so it's confirming that. And then I have, okay, 7 of water, but this came upside down, so that means the energy is complete. It says, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating.
Okay.
All right, but that's complete. So it feels like that energy, you're complete with it. And let's see what the next one is. Sweet. The Empress, Archangel Gabriel. Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others.
Okay.
So which means that you can now focus on your move. How's that going, by the way? Have you had any sort of leads on that?
Any breakthroughs? No, I'm still very much being pulled in two different directions. But I said I would make a decision and figure something out before the new year. So,
okay. So you do have some time. So I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that help? Like, I think basically.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you, and then I will put up the information about the God boxes, and you can take a look at it and see if that's something you're interested in. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, Pooja. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Yeah, okay. So I got your message, so let's see what the cards say. Well, the first message, even before I'm picking out your card, Pooja, I'm being told, don't let your environment affect you. It's a comparison game because you're hearing everybody else say the same thing, that they're worried about their opportunities and everything. So I'm being told very strongly that don't let that become your reality, because that has nothing to do with you. Because you did get an internship, you did get your own sort of thing, and I'm being told you're letting them affect you, but you also have to see that their reality is not yours. You're just hurting yourself by listening to their stuff. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, let's see what your card is. Oh, sweet. Well, Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now.
Oh my God.
So I'll let you see the card real quick.
Okay.
All right. I think it's interesting. We just talked about career, and that's the first card that came up. Oh, the Magician, Archangel Raziel. You are ready. You have the resources, the ability to manifest them. Life is magical.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think everything that you're worried about, I'm glad I actually got on today. I think it's a message for you. Okay. Well, this is cool. This is 7 of Earth. This was upside down. So I feel like after today, you should be able to see a shift. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. So you're complete with that.
Okay.
So that's what I think is coming up. And I think we can talk about the God boxes when you and I will have a conversation, because I think that will be a helpful tool for you to have. But I think what I'm getting a very strong sense is don't let others define what's going on for you.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing. Don't let your vibration get into theirs. Like that's the very, very strongly I'm being told, like, you don't want, because that's where they are. So they're going to push it on you, and you don't want that. So allow yourself to feel that, because I mean, you got the internship, you're having your own results. Your results have nothing to do with that.
That's true. That's so true.
But remember that every time you go into that place, that, they might not even thought you would have gotten the internship. So you created your own reality, unlike them.
Okay.
All right, so do that. And then send me an email and we'll talk more. All right?
Yeah, will
okay.
do. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Ryan, I'll go ahead and unmute you. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, well. Okay. So you just got here. All right, well, we're doing a reading. So I was talking about how to deal with stagnation. Hi, Ryan. And how, like, some of the things that I do practically that help me. So let's see what your thing is. Have you been having headaches or anything, Ryan, recently? Yeah, I'm feeling like a lot of pain, lots of leg pain. Okay. You need to, I talked about doing reflexology. Have you heard of that? Okay, I want you to look it up and see if that's something you can do. It'll be a foot massage, will really help. Okay, so look into it and do it. All right, 2 of water, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. All right? A relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. Okay? And then the second card, I'm being told that the first card that just came up is for you to realize it feels more of an inner conflict. It seems like there's some internal decisions you're struggling with. It feels like that's going to come to a close. Does that make sense? Okay. Then this one is Page of Air, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. So what this one is trying to, what I'm getting the sense is that you are being asked to be kinder to yourself. You're very, very hard on yourself. So when you come up with the answers, you kind of get mad at yourself. You beat yourself up. I'm being told, cut down on that. Hindsight is 20/20. You wouldn't have made the decisions if you knew. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, this is good. This was upside down. 9 of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So you are done with this. This has come to a close. Okay? Good. So it seems like the two things the angels are telling you very strongly is to really be nicer to yourself and practice more compassion. Make sense? Okay. So that will help you kind of be nicer to yourself and give yourself the permission to have the answer that you need. I will post this recording on the group so you can watch and hear the stuff I was talking about. But for you, Ryan, definitely do the reflexology. It will really clear out a lot of your gunk in your energy. That's what I'm getting very strongly. Good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I covered pretty much all the things that I wanted to help you guys with and kind of give you information. So I'm glad you guys were able to join in. Let's go ahead and do a quick meditation. And then I will do a class just on God boxes, and you guys will be able to, at that point, get them. So let's go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. As you take a deep breath, visualize all of the energy around you, letting go and just being. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. Take another deep breath and visualize all of the energy around you, just still and calm. As you breathe out, your body feels comfortable. In this moment, let everything that's come up so far, just be with it. Take one last deep breath and visualize all of these energies flooding your entire body. As you breathe out, your body starts to feel still and calm. All right, guys, so that was, I'm going to put up this recording. So if you want to kind of go back and see what are the things I talked about to do, I would highly recommend it because they're really, really helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next class tomorrow. Okay? Thank you so much for joining in.